Day Cup state finals where North takes on South in the conference playoff. James Preston and a legend of the sport, Australian and New South Wales representative Jason Stanton joining me in the booth. We already saw a cracker in the first one with Parramatta running out. Now, I know you have a bold prediction for me, Jason Stanton. Who do you think before a single play is made?
Renegades in this one, I think. I think they'll be a bit hungrier. Parramatta won the first. As they run, this is Luke Maroon. Dummy back to the inside, yeah. So first game, Parramatta were quite dominant, but Renegades finished very strongly. So I think they might carry momentum into this game too, James.
Well, let's see how they do take on their counterparts here from the Southern Conference. And that will be another set to work with here for Parramatta, so they won't mind that too much at all. Early work to do in defence here for the Renegades. They've got a full set from the 7 as they pass it out wide here for Gray. Gray now takes the touch. Maroon comes at them once again, pops it back there. Well read, though, in defence from Charlie Boyle, who stepped up and shut things down. Once more, they slow it down here through the centre of the pitch. Rivali caught just shy here, trying to find an opening, but none presenting itself, so he promotes the footy, and I think there's a real miscommunication there because they did have them for numbers, they just didn't actually catch the ball in the meantime.
Yeah, not the best start there from Parra. The tactics in this one's going to be very interesting, James, because Parramatta opened up the Renegades in game 1 almost with the same play 3 or 4 times and caused them a lot of issues with that. Ruwali also hurt him with a couple short side plays. So if Renegades can make that correction, we're in for a real cracker here.
So, of course, some of the players to watch in this one include the Berryman boys, Berryman Duff, and also Tylan Berryman. Both outstanding in the final where they got a last-minute victory in the Northern Conference. And they'll get another set here as well. And they do have those 2 big guns on deck, Berryman and Berryman Duff. They'll be pulling the strings here, Jason.
Yeah, let's see how the Berrymen start off. Nice and direct.
Well, here is Tylan Berryman now. Quick hands out there to Evan Flynn, but they jammed in well from the wing and shut him down. So back to the centre they come again. Berryman Duff all trying to release the pass there. Now there was definitely a stray hand. And yes, they will rule in favour here of the Renegades.
Yeah. But those that caught the Renegades final against Central Coast, they did look quite sharp when they had ball like this on the line. It was just more trying to get to the line, which was their challenge in that grand final.
So Parramatta turn them away once again. Back to the 7-metre mark they go. Berryman to Berryman Duff. Berryman drops it down. Flynn pops in. Berryman Duff feigns once, goes for a very low pass. It would have been quite impressive if he was able to get that to ground. And that's smart play too.
James, or 2? That's 3 in a row?
Yeah,
so
he has been sent to the back.
Wow.
It's I must say that's one of the more rapid succession of 3 in a row that I've seen too.
Yeah, the referee really trying to open it up this one. So an early opportunity for Renegades.
Straight away, they look to strike. They haven't got there in time, so early try here for the Northern Beaches Renegades, of course, with the 3-2 point system. The first try is worth that extra point, so the Northern Beaches Renegades lead 3-0.
Yeah, and that's what Renegades would have been looking for. So in game 1, James, Renegades scored the last 3 tries. So with that one, it's now almost 4 on the trot. They've really got momentum here. Parramatta's got to try and really control this midfield, complete their sets, really get into the rhythm of this game because Renegades have got a whole bunch of momentum at the moment.
Guyan off the left foot, straightening things up as they hop in at acting half now. And here's Crowley. Crowley drops it behind. They come at pace once more. It's tapped up. Play on here for the Northern Beaches Renegades. Boyle's away. They're all chasing for him. Guyan's coming late. Boyle, can he outlast them? He's got plenty of pace. He gets there in time. Charlie Boyle popped it up in the air. Guyan is claiming the touch, but I don't think he got there in time. They award it, and it's try time for the Northern Beaches Renegades.
Wow, the Renegades, and that's a really good example of those sitting at home. If you want to look at the tactics, Parramatta have run the same plays that they ran in game 1. Northern Beaches have done their homework. In game 1, Parramatta scored from that play. This time Renegades stepped off the line, got the intercept, run the length, and that's a 2-try swing now. Due to the tactics, great play, Northern Beaches.
In a commanding position early here, they are beating the clock at the moment. 5 points inside the first 4.5 minutes. Work to do here for Parramatta, and scoreboard pressure already taking its toll.
Yeah, very good start. I think my prediction's looking good for early, isn't it? But a really good start there for Renegades. What I'd like to see is the Parramatta now, where they've got an opportunity here, is to really calm it down, a couple deep breaths. It's only a couple of scores now, and start running some of their alternate plays. Different stuff from game one. That's what I'd like to see, James.
There's certainly no love lost between these two sides either. Instead of returning the ball where it should have been, they left it about 15 metres into enemy territory. Parramatta finally can start their set here from 7 away as Rawali spreads it towards the middle. Gray is there. Back to Rawali, who crabs across, bouncing off that right foot. And they keep stepping up and eventually making the touch. There's one. Oliver Baum, the captain, is caught. So we've already seen Parramatta reduced down to 5 men. They've got to be careful here, the Renegades. The referees are on to that particular indiscretion. Caught about 8 away. Here they go, Maroon charging forward. Baum putting up the arms there. He's got to be careful with that too. We did see him in the final also sent off for a brief period there by forceful contact.
Yeah, it's certainly a higher intensity in this game than what we saw in game one, James. So both teams have settled in. Now they know it's do or die for this one. So definitely they've ramped it up here.
Last play, Maroon goes for a long cut-out pass, but it has gone forward. The referee didn't move from the spot. It was the correct call, and they survived this raid on their line here, the Renegades, as the Eels now look to put on oodles of pressure as they work away from their own end. Baum with the dummy, and now they pop it back to the middle before cycling the ball further towards their subs box, looking for a smooth transition, and not a bad one so far. No touch made initially. Yes, there was, in fact.
Yeah, pretty clever there from Maroon. Faked like he was going to make the touch, James, and pulled out of it, then touched him. So nice little move there from Maroon to sort of upset the Renegades' drive.
They've done exactly that, so the momentum is stopped here. Berryman and Berryman-Duff, we know those two can certainly get the momentum working again. Here they come. This looks very reminiscent of the final, in fact. Berryman goes over the top. They pop it back on the inside. They're all marked up, and I think it's a touch pass anyway.
Yeah, and that's when I think Renegades look near unstoppable. We saw that in their final against Central Coast. If they can roll through this midfield and run that amazing attack they have on the back of a drive, they're going to be really hard to stop. And Parramatta, they look a little bit off here, don't they, James?
Yeah, they're certainly rattled from this early start here from the Renegades, who just keep putting on the pressure both with and without the ball. This little goose step comes out, and so too does Berryman-Duff. He's with it now. Passes on here for Flynn. Out to Berryman. Very controlled approach to the beginning of this set. Now they'll look to go. Here comes Berryman running it offside defenders. Now, was there enough done back through the middle? Yes, there was. So they've ruled that Gray hit the line and then got the man in time. So they just escaped there, the Eels.
Yeah, and once again, the Renegades looking very sharp. When you give them the ball, they're going to make you pay. So Parramatta, I think they'll be making some adjustment. This is something that we spoke about in the commentary game one. They're sort of like substituting off a little bit quick, James, and then they're sort of getting caught on their side of halfway. It's something they need to do a bit better. This will definitely help them out with a penalty. And they're going to have to get one back because we're sort of almost 10 minutes in, and it's not so much the scoreline, but Parramatta really haven't asked enough questions of the Renegades' defence.
Well, here is Guyan looking to do exactly that, popping out of acting half, and now he supplies a pass here for Grosvenor. Grosvenor now in at dummy half himself. Here he is with the ball, charging forward. Nice wraparound here, stopping on the run. Oh, yeah, that looked a bit awkward. I think it's more a case of the shoe actually coming for a bit of a wobble there than the ankle itself.
I think so. And I don't mind the way that the referees, Cameron Carmody and Bleasdale, are refereeing this because they're opening up. It's the same for both sides, and they're actually like promoting this higher intensity game where they're forcing the defenders to get off the line. You can see here, really good to see. Good opportunity for Parramatta if they can. They've got to be running in, but they've got to ask questions.
It's going along at a rapid pace as well. Nearly 9 minutes gone already. Of course, 25-minute matches, no halftime breaks. As the Eels once more come on the attack. Quick hands here. It was a very sloppy play, the ball. And they'll get another set. So that's 2 now. Next one will be sitting behind the goal line.
Yeah, it was good to see from Parramatta. They almost had the second phase where they run their play. It looks like they're going to score and they do another dump. That's going to be really hard to stop if they can pull that off.
Rawali out now to Crowley. Crowley, he just got caught in time. It was a very important touch from Cowper. So back to the 7-metre mark they go. Crowley off now. Rawali, big touch coming in again. Baum is really treading a fine line to start this match. He's not taking a backward step, that's for sure. Out to Guy and it comes, who threatens to link up. Rolls it on the 7. Now they've got them at pace here. Crowley nearly getting there, but once more they read it well. jammed in, did Max Davies. Last play now for the Eels. Nowhere to go. That's a great defensive set from the Renegades.
And it was really good set, and probably a little bit of an experience. Something to sort of think about is when you've got 2 penalties from the referee and the next one's going to be in the bin, you've got to be running in at plays. Get them up to the 10 and you run in and ask questions. Don't go too lateral. That sort of plays into the defence's hands. So this is this little window of opportunity for Parramatta. They really need to strike back, and it's got to be in this next couple of minutes, James.
Well, they've got a good opportunity now. They start the set well into enemy territory here. And back out there now is Maroon, who plays it about 20 metres away from the try line. Rawali heading across field and is joining the action now in the 20 is Jesse Sabat.
So Rawali's been strong. We've got Maroon, Tashi, Boutros. They've got guns everywhere. They just need to adjust a little bit. So what I'd like to see in here is stand right up at the 10 or 15, pull them right up and run in with a dump. That's what I'd like to see.
Last play now for the Eels. Maroon, great footwork. They've played it at the Renegades, so another set to come. I think it was a touch that needed to be made, though, on the ball there from Nash Ritchie. Otherwise, they had numbers out wide.
Yeah, they did. Great work there from Parramatta. I think it was Gray there joining with Maroon. And, again, they're probably a little bit tight into the line. And that's the second penalty there. So you'll see what's happening here, James, is when the dump's happening, the Renegades defenders are already making it to the try line. So the referee's trying to get them forward. That's why it's 2 penalties. And what you need to do is come right back out to the 10 or 15 if you're on the Parramatta side, really get them up and then run in and ask questions. That's where you'll get a try or a penalty.
Maroon wrapping around, quick hands as well. Nice play out wide there from Monahan. Of course, he was the man who scored the crucial try right at the death to secure victory over the Central Coast in that Northern Conference final. Maroon back to the middle now. They're certainly offside, at least one of those players. Maroon picked it up beautifully, ran directly at him, stepped off the right, drew in the one man who was onside, and try time for the Eels.
What a try from the Eels, and I can't give enough accolades to that man there, number 1, Luke Maroon. The attacking plays run there has been different to what we've seen in Game 1 and the first half of Game 2. He's made the correction. He started running early sweepers, some little step-out plays, running at the offside player. That spells dangerous for Renegades.
It also spells the first try here for Parramatta, so they've reduced that margin as we get very close to the halfway point of this match. About 13 minutes on the clock. The Renegades still in the ascendancy, though, on that scoreboard. But Parramatta slowly but surely have worked their way into this contest. Berryman Duff picks it up. Great long pass. I think they may just get there in time. The defensive side, have they done enough? I reckon he's put it to ground. Yes, the referees agree. They're in for their third. They haven't had to wait long for the hit back.
Great play there from the Renegades. And Parramatta really didn't do himself any favours there. They really needed to hold him out after they got back into the match. But Renegades nice and calm. And this is that sort of game that Renegades would want, this sort of shootout, try for try. It suits them. Parramatta are I think they're going to learn a lot about footy in this game, about the different ways that you can play. And they're going to have to, be a little bit more direct, a bit more controlling the ball to sort of be able to match Renegades both here and in Game 3 if that eventuates.
Well, at the moment, we are looking at a Game 3 playoff. Of course, Parramatta securing the first match. So far, the Renegades in control here. Good quick hands, but well covered again in defence from Monahan, who's been busy on the wings so far. Rawali trying to set up something. They've definitely lost control of it there, though, the Eels. Good pressure again from the Renegades.
Yeah, that's really good pressure from Renegades, and this is real good from them again, getting down the field. Renegades has certainly raised the bar in intensity from about midway through Game 1, James, and this is a much faster game than Game 1, so maybe you brought that to the, when you got in the commentary, James, you brought the intensity with you.
I'm happy to claim it as Berryman Duff marches upfield and then stops on his run, slowing things down. They've got their full complement back on the field now. Berryman fires it long. I think that might have gone forward, though. Yes, it has, so they'll call that one back. But again, you're just seeing the Berryman-Duff-Berryman combo, very dangerous whenever they get into the enemy territory.
Yeah, when they get down to this sort of game, if it's going to go end-to-end, Renegades are going to be holding up the cup, come 2-3 hours' time, because they're just so strong down there. Parramatta have got to really dominate through here, try and get penalties, try and get them offside, try and hurt them through this side, because Renegades, geez, they look great down there, don't they, James, with the ball in hand?
They certainly do. They pick it up and they march upfield with relative ease as Maroon tries to do something pretty similar, but he is caught there. That will be the changeover. So 10.5 on the clock, 3 tries to 1, the margin 5. Northern Beaches Renegades at the moment looking good to set up a decider here as they go for the little goose step from Davies before supplying a late pass. Quick recycling of the footy and a nice transition too. They're still offside here, the Eels, but they can't take advantage because they haven't played it on the mark.
Yeah, here's an opportunity. And I think this next couple of minutes is really important for Parramatta, irrespective of the result of this game, because they've only had that little pocket of a couple minutes where they made that correction to their game and Maroon ran a couple of lines. Apart from that, they've largely been outplayed for the game. So this is an important couple of minutes to show that they've got a fair bit of arsenal there as well.
The Parramatta side, they were calling for it a little earlier. They didn't quite get it the first time, but certainly the referee's obliging by round 2 there. So that's 1 penalty, another 2, and I'll see someone sitting down. Under 10 to go. It's Rawali, crabs across field. That's smart play there from the Eels. Quick ball.
That's a try. Ooh, sorry, I thought he called him off then. I was calling it down, but he must have just got his feet back in time there, James.
It was a very much a 50-50 call. We'll stick with the referee's decision on that occasion, though. Maroon was looking to link up out wide.
And he's in the bin.
Well, he's also grabbed him there, so he's got to go either way. And they will award that. And, yeah, they're not happy about that. There was a definite grab at the jersey as well.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the player's not in the bin there, but it's a really good sign. We just mentioned, 30 seconds ago, Parramatta have got to show that they can play an alternate game plan, and they've learnt from the first 10 minutes. Maroon there ran an early sweep and ran straight back at the offside player. That's what we're talking about. That's that correction. That's going to give them a chance, both in this game and in Game 3. If we go that way, they've got to play direct. They've got to really run at this Renegades outfit. So I think that was an important try for more reasons than one there, Jay.
Well, speaking of direct, that's what Baum did on that last run. He picked up good metres too, the captain. Now Berryman to Berryman, Duff and Baum. Quick strike dump here. Berryman, Duff threatened to link up with Berryman, instead goes to Baum. The Guyan turns him away. Back to the 7 they come. So again, though, asking questions. We've talked about how dangerous they are with those two architects out there, the Berryman boys. They float this one across, and they've just got a touch once more from Guyan.
Yeah, great save there from Bissett. And Renegades lucky not to have someone in the bin. Normally, for those watching at home, normally you grab someone, you're not going to be staying on the field. But on that occasion, the referee ruled that the play-through try was sufficient. But a little bit lucky there. Often you'll have the try against you and you'll find yourself in the bin as well.
I'll certainly be quite happy they didn't for the Renegades. They are still in the lead, but it has been clawed back a little bit more once again. 7-4 the score, 3 tries to 2. And that is called play on there by Deacon Cameron, who's out of the commentary booth and back onto the pitch, and also blowing a penalty in favour of Parramatta.
Yeah, clever here. That was a really good sweep on there from the Parramatta players. And now we've got Gray, we've got Tashi, we've got Maroon. This is another big set for Parramatta. Irrespective of this result, Maroon and Tashi put one on here, then Renegades are on notice, and the momentum swings back the other way. So let's see what they can muster up here, Parramatta.
Well, here is Tashi. Up toward the middle, about 10 metres shy of the try line. They slow it down. Gray, big tall 59, popping a pass here for Maroon. Maroon goes long with a massive floating pass, and that one is called forward as well. So they've been denied a couple of times for those long balls.
Yeah, what happens here? It's a bit unlucky here. When you get a little bit tired, you don't sort of penetrate or run as hard into the line, and then the pass gets a fraction lazy, and a pass that's going 3/4 of the field like that, you've really got to rip it and be on balance. So a little bit unlucky there for Maroon. Probably not the best play selection in the end, but they had the number, I guess, so a little bit unlucky.
So Baum now works it away with 6.5 on the clock. The margin is 3 points. First and crucial potential try coming for the Northern Beaches Renegades. It was worth 3 points. Oh, the flick pass comes out. I'll tell you what, it was on. He had opened up the space. Certainly crafty. Unfortunately, there for Flynn, just missed the mark. So now what it does mean is that Parramatta have a good chance to launch a raid of their own. Into the action comes Sabat.
This is Sabat and Rawali. Rawali's always looking dangerous. This is a good opportunity for him to inject himself here.
Gray's back out there now too. He came storming onto the field to get involved in this play. So one of the 3 required in terms of penalties for a player on the defensive line to be sat down behind the dead ball line. Now they've played at that. That'll be another set, not a penalty though. It's Flynn who's made the touch.
So let's see whether Parramatta can do that correction here, James. Really wait for the Renegades to get off that line.
Gray to Rawali, quick hands. Now they're all offside. That will be another one. Deacon Cameron, our referee, not pulling any punches there with the defensive line.
So we've got Maroon coming on now. See, this is where I'd really like to see him come right back out 10-15 and just camp there. and wait for the Renegades to come up. They're on 2 penalties. Parramatta really got to make that correction and really get a feel for the game here.
Maroon drops for Sabat. Now Maroon has another crack at them. I don't think they were onside there. That is 3. Well, they've got to send someone here. It's going to be Berryman, it looks like.
It's got to go off. And you see the difference there, how he didn't throw long there, James, because you learnt from the previous one, control the ball. That's maturity, and that's great to see. We've also seen that from Takshi, Rawali, Luke Maroon. Parramatta are starting to make some corrections here.
Here is Rawali now, and the correction is 100% on point. They collect their 3rd of the match, and now the margin is just 1.
And this is really good. This is really good maturity, and it's really exciting. You probably hear it in my voice. I love seeing our young players coming through and not just being all flashy and throwing the ball, but using smarts. And Parramatta were outplayed for the first 13, 14 minutes of this game, and now they've made some corrections. They're showing the maturity, they're showing their footy smarts. Let's see now what the Berrymans can do on the other side now in Balm. They've got to respond here.
So here is Tyler Berryman back into the fray, having been sat down just before that try was scored, and immediately Parramatta made full use of the extra man. He drops it off here. Here comes Berryman. Beautiful delay on the pass, but a wonderful read from out wide. They shut it down. It's Liam Bissett, and off the back of it, a little bit worse for wear here. One of the Renegades boys. It might be Charlie Boyle actually out there.
Yeah, he got a little bit twisted up there. Geez, that was classy from Berryman to be able to have the ball in 2 hands, get him ready for the dive. You're sort of about to launch into the dive and still be able to throw that short ball to the link. That's a very difficult skill, and Berryman made it look easy.
So it is
class there.
Well, it is Charlie Boyle who has copped a knock there, so he's coming to the sideline. He's already scored a terrific length of the field intercept try that he popped up in the air and then was off for the prize. But you're right, Jason. Every time Berryman is touching the ball, there's something happening around him. So keep an eye on him here and for the remainder of this match as well. But Parramatta won't have to do too much in the way of watchful work on Berryman because they've got the ball now and they can work it away from their own end. As once more, you can feel the tempo has gone up again here.
Yeah, Renegades have picked up the intensity here. Parramatta, we've still got the 3 minutes to go to try and steal this one and maybe prove me wrong. I had the Renegades in game 2, but Renegades will pick up a bit from this as well. As soon as they drop the intensity, they let Parramatta back in this one. So this is really setting up for a big 2 minutes, maybe a game 3, James.
Well, they're claiming a forceful touch, and I can tell you now, the neutral person in me wants the decider. I want it to see. I want to see it go to a third match. So I'm hoping a prediction comes off here. Nothing against our Parramatta viewers. All in the excitement for me. Berryman Duff here. Rolls the ball. Now Berryman. Berryman, great delay on the pass. The flick is there. Now that's very dangerous because it could have popped right up into that waiting arms of Bissett, who would have been off for it.
Yeah, probably didn't need to do that. You want to complete the set and make it hard for Parramatta to get a good start. That'll be a penalty for contact. So Parramatta with 2 minutes, a good chance. If they can jag a try here, they can steal the state title because the Renegades are sort of probably thinking about game 3 a bit early here. Can Parramatta steal it and prove me wrong at the same time?
Well, under 2 minutes to do exactly that, so they'll get this set with the ball. Probably one more after the Renegades have got it. That's not going to help, and he's suggesting it was helped out in the process. Referees disagree, so Berryman Duff has a chance here to crack on with it. Up towards halfway he comes. The touch is made. They're 5 metres shy of the halfway line. They just have to play it smart here, the Northern Beaches Renegades. Kill the ball.
Yeah, they
far
should
away from their box.
Yeah, they should be able to control it here, James. You've got both Berrymans there in the middle. They've got all their experience. They've got to try and use up as much of this 80 seconds as they can.
It's a very long set so far too. They're making sure the ball is continuously being cycled. You can see here once again, claims it was forward from the sideline. I thought it was flat myself. Berryman pops it up here for Berryman Duff. And they're really eating away the seconds on this game, but the play the ball is a shocker, and now they give Parramatta a full set with exactly a minute to go.
Yeah, Parramatta with one last throw at the dice here to see whether they can steal this game and take the state title back out west. All of our fans north of the bridge, they'll want to see the Renegades hold them out for 40 seconds and get a game 3.
One thing they haven't done a particularly good job here of is the Renegades, just making sure they don't get easy meters upfield. They're going to have a few cracks at them from that 7 metre mark now. Maroon plays it. Maroon at the line. Maroon getting to ground very quickly. They did enough there through Max Davies. Last play now. One more to hold on for the Renegades. They've got to throw the kitchen sink at them. Maroon with a couple of big steps. Now they're claiming both of them got the touch. Maroon's not happy about it. They've got to keep their heads here, both the boys. There's another match still in play.
It's this is a really interesting one, and I'll tell you why in a second. Just cover it for a sec. You know why this is interesting, James, is that the touch was made in front of Maroon, like on the belly. He would have felt that. So that's maybe it was, really faint, or normally, you get these sorts of things on the foot or you don't feel it. But when someone touches you right in front of your eyes, that's why Luke is so animated. He's like, I didn't feel that. So that was a really interesting one. I'm sure the referee got the right result, and you got what you wanted, James, a big game 3.
I've got a decider, and I'll tell you what, I don't think there's going to be any love lost between these two sides either. It's very fiery here. Hopefully nothing further develops off the back of it, but Berryman Duff still had a little bit to say at the death there, but at full time, it is 7-6, and a big victory there for the Northern Beaches Renegades, sending it to a decider. Just before we wrap up for this particular match, Jason Stanton, who is your Guzman and Gomez player of the match.
Ooh, that's a tough one. You put me on the spot. I think that, is it Baum, from the Renegades was strong. I know both Berryman boys were good, but I think Baum early, the number 7, I think it was, Oliver Baum was quite strong. Luke Maroon probably unlucky in a losing side because he was incredible. But one game more, I've been lucky enough to get the first 2 right. Would I be brave enough to go... Let's go Para for game 3.
Oh, it's a big call. Jason Stanton does enjoy making them. And we'll get to find out exactly how things transpire a little later in the day. That should be the final match we bring to you in live coverage. And up for you next, we do have a change here on our main field. So we know the Newcastle City Knights are going to be one of the 2 teams. Just having a look on the sideline for their opposition. I don't think have quite arrived just yet, but our next match coming your way in about 4 minutes' time at 1:30.